to design an iPhone dock specifically for standby mode.
I'm just gonna borrow this, Scott. I wanted to talk about this today. If you're into 3D printing, most likely you've come across this. This is an iPhone docking station created by Scott and OVERWERK. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend go watching Scott's video. I'll put in the description. It's super entertaining and he goes behind the whole process and design of it. As a new maker myself, this is actually what I strive to make. Something that's beautifully and thoughtfully designed, something that's collaborative, extremely functional, and something that inspires other creators. So for today's video, I want to do something different. 3D printing is often viewed as the end product, but what if it's just the beginning? Instead of printing the final piece, I want to use 3D printing as a tool to create something out of a different material. I absolutely love this docking station. The only thing I don't like is the PLA. Not to say that you shouldn't buy one of these. Definitely go check out Scott's and OVERWERK's website because they are selling these. Personally, I just don't like the weight of it. I feel like if it was a little more like thonky or like thick, it would be perfect. The original idea actually came from my pencil container, holder. Came from my pencil, the original idea came from my pencil holder. I was looking at it and I was like, I love this color. I love how raw and industrial it feels and how perfect it would be for the iPhone docking station. This thing is pretty complex. So I feel like we should start off with something more simpler. We should start off with something simpler. And another thing I was staring at my desk was this guy. I bought this for 20 bucks on Amazon. I was actually trying to learn DaVinci Resolve and I spiraled and I saw their keyboard that was a couple $100. And to be honest, this has been absolutely perfect. Since I wasn't sure if I would want to continue doing YouTube or not, I didn't want to invest a lot of money. What I even love more about these is these keycaps and the switches are swappable. And so I have a bunch of leftover from my Olivia key set and some switches that I want to put on here. Goal is to create a new body for this. I want to first 3D model one, and then I want to make a mold out of it. All right, let's take some measurements. Now that that's printed, we got the whole body here now. Let's see if it fits. Okay, so we got our base. This guy's down. Here we go. Moment of truth. Up. That looks so cool. Look, looks kind of similar to my keyboard. So these are the switches. All right, let's put the switches on now. Cool, and now let's do the keycaps. And for the keycaps, we have the Olivia. Nice, what should we go with? What would be fun? Some like number keys? Some random keys like code? Lock? Oh shoot, there's a second layer. We still have some good options. I kind of dig the function keys. Oh man, but the problem is if I want to do one row white, one row black, F1, F2, F3, F5, F6, F7. I guess this could be F4. Let's try some of these combinations out. I think I like this combination the most. I mean, should we change this out too? No, we're just gonna stay on task. The main goal of this project is to do the concrete board. All right, so I printed 3 designs. First one, second one, third one. I kind of dig just the first one. Just kind of clean, simple. I feel like that one has the most grip. But wow, come on guys. How cool is this? Dude, that didn't even take us that long. It looks so good. There's streaks on it, but that's the glue from the build plate. It's like a little mini-me. I know this is nothing like the DaVinci editor keyboard that they have. I'm sure that has a lot more cool functions, but for a beginner like me that only needs a few keys, I think I can get away with this. I was thinking about how I want to approach this to make a mold for the concrete. So what I did was I took the body and I used the shell feature. It looks exactly like a mold, but I'm seeing a lot of red flags here. There's all these tiny screw holes, there's also all these tiny grids, and there's also this USB port on the side. I think another approach could be using TPU filament. It's more flexible and it's probably too easier to take the mold out of, but all I got is PLA right now, so we're gonna use what we got. Later tonight, I'm going to try pouring concrete in this. Hopefully it goes well. All right, so we're in the garage right now. I was a little worried about how messy it would be in the room. I thought this would be a better idea. But first, the thought of concrete dust getting into my eyes and lungs kind of terrifies me, so let's suit up. All right, so the material we have are some gloves, some paint sticks, our mold, some red cups filled with water and some empty ones to mix the stuff in. Reminds me of some good old college days. And then below we have the concrete mix and cardboard. We were using the cardboard just to place everything inside so it doesn't get too messy. I kind of realized once I get started I can't touch the camera stuff. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff in here. They said you want a light oatmeal consistency. You hear that? It's so crunchy. Gonna be honest, this is not how I pictured it going. This is the current situation. My other camera turned off. Look at how many rocks there are. They're huge. I must have bought the wrong one. You know what? That's on me though. I didn't do my research properly. Hope you can see me okay. We're here checking out what happened with our concrete mold from the other day. I feel like we can still learn some stuff. Let's take a closer look. Got all those rocks. I guess the main goal of this test is just to see if it's really easy to take off this PLA from the cement. Hopefully it is. And if the PLA comes off easy, then I think this is a win. Okay, I'm gonna wear gloves because I hate getting my hands dirty. I think that's why I like 3D printing so much. It's like mess-free. Oh.
Headshot.
But surprisingly, overall, it comes off pretty easy. But the problem was because it's so thin, when you put the cement in, it kind of bulges out. All right, I took this apart and I have some quick learnings. One is that cement doesn't stick to the PLA. Two, it's really brittle. I don't know if it's this mixture, but it breaks apart a lot easier than I thought it would. Three, this keyboard is actually more complex than what I think the clock is gonna be. I think my idea of trying to do something simpler actually backfired on me. Good thing is that I really like the PLA case that we made for that keyboard. Even if we can't do the concrete, I'm okay with it. Cool, let's go design the clock and go from there. Okay, so this is the original design for the docking station. We want to approach the redesign with two things in mind. One is we want to simplify it as much as possible. And two, we want to create a model that does not have tree supports inside. And the reason, of course, being is because we're filling it with concrete, we don't want the tree supports to be in there. The first thing I can easily get rid of is a charging station for the AirPods. My AirPods are actually not MagSafe, so I don't need it. Next thing we can do now that we took out that charger is we can actually rotate this MagSafe so the wire goes downwards. And what I want to do is have a channel that goes along the bottom that's open so it doesn't go through the model. I also want to add like a negative space here. That way the whole thing's not filled up with concrete. The areas I see being difficult are the holes where the clicker goes through and this wire. Those are actually areas where I'm okay with leaving the PLA inside the concrete. Because they're such high traffic areas, I feel like the PLA will actually age better over time if it's protecting the concrete. So I printed out a quick model with lightning mode, so the quality's not that great. But for me, it helps having a physical model in hand other than just looking at Fusion 360. It really helps looking at it and trying to figure out which orientation I want to print it. And the orientation I concluded at was actually this way. Having it this way actually made the tree supports only go on the outside here. At this angle, it's actually possible to print it without any tree supports inside. There is some small overhangs inside along this area, but it's so short that I think we can get away with just bridging it. But if we print it this way, we need to get rid of this negative space because it creates tree supports along here. Both those changes, I'm feeling pretty optimistic. So let's print the final shell and then throw some concrete in it. I hope the lighting's okay. So here's the print, and it looks pretty good, I must say. So this is what I was talking about. The inside is mainly cement or concrete, and the outside is easily removable. And the print came out so clean. And I'm not gonna remove the tree support because I'm afraid it's gonna rip off some PLA, and it's okay, it's on the outside. And here's the little stand. How cool is that? No shot this fails. Okay, let's put on some stuff. I only have 30 minutes on the top camera, so I have to hurry. I got this right here. Read some Amazon reviews. A bunch of people are doing DIY projects, so hopefully it's easier. We got some water. What the hell just beeped at me? All right, here we go. It says don't add rocks or gravel, which is perfect. Maybe more. I'm trying to see if I have a bucket. Just in case, I'm gonna make a third one. Since they say it sets pretty fast. I think the key from last time is little water the better. Wow, that just compressed. Well, this is a lot easier. Oh man, I'm gonna need a lot more. Wow, I did not think I would need more than 3 cups. Oh it's leaking. Hopefully it's not a bad leak. I guess what's a good leak? I'm panicking, my hands are sweaty. Time is of the essence here, people. Can't put gloves on. Nobody in the comments asked me what the ratio is, because I have no clue. The strategy right now is, if it's too watery, I add more powder. The good news is the leak stopped. I think it basically coagulated itself. I'm trying to hurry because I want to mix the stuff in here. Make sure if it was inconsistent, that at least it mixes. Damn, maybe I should have made that bucket. This is just pure chaos. Here I thought this would be a relaxing video. You know, mixing concrete, having some small talk, not racing the clock. I used the whole bag. That's crazy. Oh my god, the inside of this bowl is setting. All right, there's so many air bubbles. Damn, it's short. I don't know how you're supposed to use this vibrating gun. This thing is so strong. It's actually working. This is after 30 minutes. It's warm. It's already separated from the PLA. Oh man, you can see where the stand is. It held its shape, but everywhere else kind of swooped down. Oh my god. That was an ordeal. It's warm still, which is crazy. Does that mean it still needs time? All right. Dude, it just comes off. Can you see that line? I think that's because we are mixing at different times. I think it's a different in texture. It's kind of a vibe. Kind of got that marbling effect, you know? People pay good money for that. It looks so good. Okay, I'm pretty excited. I'm doing the bottom part because if I mess up the bottom, I'm not gonna be too upset about it. This project has had so many highs and lows. So outside of 3D printing, I love golfing. And I was golfing with this guy one day, and I hit a really bad shot. And I was visibly frustrated and getting upset. He walks over and he says, I don't play enough to get upset. He goes on to say that, you know, Tiger Woods, who practices hundreds of hours a week, misses putts, misses shots. And that really put it in perspective for me. You know, we don't do these things full time. It's not really our job. We do these things for fun. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves that. With that said, this is the progress so far. Now we get to the complicating part. Alright, ready? I'm a little biased, but I think that looks good. This isn't dandruff on my shoulder either. PLA ricocheting. That's why I have my glasses on too. I'm so happy with it. And it's not done. I have a few surprises I want to put on this, and then I'll show you the result and give you my thoughts. Before I show the final product, I just want to say thank you to everyone. I really didn't expect the last video to do so well, especially it being my first. I got so much love and support, and it really meant a lot to me. My goal for this year was actually just 1,000 subscribers, and to get that in the first couple of weeks, it just blew my mind. So thank you to everyone for liking, watching, subscribing, and commenting. I really try my best to reply to all the comments and for all the feedback. I take it pretty seriously so I can improve the videos from here on out. I put a lot of time into the videos and I love making them, so it just really makes me happy that others are enjoying it. Thanks again, and back to the video. This took longer than I expected. I'm guessing it was the road less traveled by, and probably for good reason. But I had a lot of fun doing it. Through this video, I came out with 2 products that I really like, and I learned a lot on the way. I've been really wanting to try this for a while. I really wanted to try some edge banding, and it works so well on PLA, and this stuff is not coming off. So this actually gives me a few good ideas for some future videos. I added some feet to this as well. I was originally going to add some felt pads back here, but I mean, these layer lines that were accidentally caused by the printer are just beautiful, to be honest. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. It's pretty rough around some edges. Overall, I think it came out pretty well for a first attempt. The reason why I wanted to try this method of using the shell method in Fusion 360 was I wanted to see if I can get 80% of the result with 20% of the effort. Of course, I would recommend picking something as complex as this, but for example, these were so easily made without silicone molds. I didn't even use Fusion 360's shell feature. What I did was in the slicer, I did 0% infill and I did no layers on top. And I printed them in an orientation where there would be no tree supports inside. And this is awesome. This is a simple catch-all tray. There's PLA inside, but I just figured I'd leave it because it kind of worked out that way. And this is actually a Gridfinity little cube, and it fits. I'm not saying that this is the best way, and I wouldn't recommend it for everything, but it was kind of a fun experiment. I like to say if I either was able to makeshift something, or if I made in this case, I think it's makeshift. For a while, it was looking really bleak, but I think in the end I was able to pull it off. But you let me know, what do you think? Thank you again everyone for watching. I know this video took a really long time. It was actually my birthday, so I got caught up in some stuff. And this video was actually way longer. I had to cut it down by a lot. In the original one, I actually included a tutorial about how to make it. But all the content that wasn't in this video, I'm thinking about putting on my socials, so make sure to follow me there. And I think that's it. If you guys can just please like, comment, subscribe, whatever feels right, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks again, and I hopefully will post something next week. Until then, have a great week and keep making stuff.